Okay, we're going to go over checks and balances. Checks and balances is the separation of powers. It divides different powers among three branches of government, prevents the branch from gaining too much power. Legislative, judicial, and executive branches have their own unique powers. So this is something that you're going to record on your paper, the separation of powers. Next, we have the three different branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. The executive branch enforces the laws. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces makes foreign treaties, proposes laws, appoints Supreme Court justices, pardons those convicted of federal court. Legislative branch passes federal laws, controls federal appropriations, approves treaties and presidential appointments, regulates interstate commerce, establishes low court system. The judicial branch reviews lower court decisions, decides constitutionality of laws, decides cases involving disputes between states. Next part on your paper, you're going to analyze. Why do you think it's important to separate the powers of government? Think about the other principles of democracy. Why do you think it's important that not just one branch has all the power? Next section on your paper is checks and balances. So checks and balances is powers each branch has that allows them to check up on the other branches. It prevents branches from abusing their powers. It preserves the separation of powers. It requires cooperation between the branches of government. How can the legislative branch, so the Congress, check and balance the executive branch? It may reject presidential appointments. It may withhold funding. It may impeach a president for serious crimes. It may override presidential veto. How can the legislative branch check and balance the power of the judicial branch, so the Supreme Court? They may propose constitutional amendments to add to override previous judicial decisions. They may impeach Supreme Court justices or for serious crimes. How can the executive branch, so the president, check and balance the power of the judicial branch, the Supreme Court? The president appoints justices or judges to the Supreme Court. With constitutional approval, they serve for life so long as they are not impeached for serious crimes. How can the executive branch president check the balances the power of the Congress or the legislature? They may adjourn Congress in certain situations. They may veto bills that have been passed by Congress. How can the judicial branch of the Supreme Court check and balance the power of the Congress? They may declare laws of Congress unconstitutional if they contradict the Constitution. This power is called judicial review. Next, how can the Supreme Court judicial check and balance the power of the president or the executive? They may declare executive actions that are unconstitutional if they contradict the Constitution.